Hello, Jared Hood. Thank you for watching. You found my YouTube page. Appreciate it. We're going to talk some sports today. But we do have a sponsor, so I'm going to start off. It's a good one. It's a small business. We are presented by Be Kind Boutique. Boutique. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Where you'll find the kindest handcrafted soaps and body care. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter for details about our Mother's Day 2021 gift box set featuring an exclusive champagne and pearl body bar. Give mom the gift of kindness this year. Links to join our Facebook group and shop online in the catalog will be in the description below. So please check that out. It's a small business selling great, body bars and whatnot. So I'm going to start off by talking about the Phillies today. Have my Phillies hat on. I'm a big Phillies fan, Philadelphia fan. If you've watched me before, if not, welcome. Also, I mean, what do you start off by saying? The starting pitching was phenomenal. You got Nola, Wheeler, who had the best performance other than a Velasquez a couple years ago with the 14 strikeouts. But you got to go back like 10 years, 11 years to Doc to get an outing like what Wheeler had on Saturday. And then Eflin and Eflin, he was right there with them, which was awesome. His high end, which I'll be honest, I never, I don't want to say it wasn't, never thought it would be there, but his high end is on nights like that higher than I could have ever expected. And I don't think he has the worst, bad games, but if the consistency's got to be there, and hopefully with the other two, I will say those three, and we'll get to Matt Moore in a minute, who pitched the fourth game. But the first three that I want to talk about, the core three guys that are going to be the guys moving forward if the Phillies have any opportunity to do anything, they were aggressive. Like Nola, he's always really been aggressive, so it was hard to tell much of a difference there, but he seemed a little more aggressive. Wheeler, I mean, hard to the difference of last year. I forget who was saying. I think it was John Kruk on the actual broadcaster. I forget who was saying. There's a fast. I don't know. Maybe it was somewhere else I heard it. I apologize. There's a fast 100 and there's a slow 100. There's a fast 99 and there's a slow 99. And he was pitching the fast 99. Which and he was going at batters, which he never really. I don't want to say he never really did it, but he didn't. He came out the gate just. He wasn't trying to get some ground balls. He was striking people out. Like he was legitimately coming at guys, working counts, and not just maybe trying to mow you down, get through the 27 and see what happened. He was pitching. I guess is the best way to put it. So it, great to see from those two, and then Eflin, like he was also just as aggressive, which it's great to see. Not expected to see how good he did. If he can be that good, if he can be the third guy, and those two can reach the potential that we expect them to, and they can all three stay as aggressive as I saw in those first three outings. I mean, that was some great pitching by all three of them. It could be a great year for the Phillies if that's what happens. Now, obviously, health, a lot of things have to come around. Like Matt Moore pitched really good. You can't expect absolutely nothing out of your fourth starter. Like you can't just expect the fourth guy to not be able to do anything at all. So I think he did what you're hoping basically for all season. A little better than what you're hoping for all season, honestly. Higher than expectations. Only 2 runs, I think, through 4 or 5. Through 5. So he can go do that consistently, again, your fourth guy then's putting you in position. And then we'll see moving forward with the fifth, and then you're right back here. If you're talking this particular week, you got Nola Wednesday and Wheeler Friday and Eflin on Saturday. And hopefully, if they can pitch as well as they did, you can get a couple wins there. So super exciting when you're just talking that. Now you're going to go further, the bullpen. I mean, the bullpen, we talked about how the bullpen literally last year couldn't have gotten any worse. It's the worst in the history of baseball. Can only go up. They are as good as you. They are number one or number two in like the top 6 categories for when you're ranking like bullpens as a team. Only 5 guys have pitched out of the pen, or 4 guys have pitched out of the pen. Excuse me. So early. So, but definitely good to see and excited to be. They're actual difference makers, and Alvarado and Archie Bradley. Speaking of aggressive, and maybe it's just again, I know everyone's gonna say it, and I'll just get it out of the way. The elephant in the room, Gabe Kapler, kind of told these guys to pitch wrong. It seems like, and now I mean, like even Hector Neris is just aggressive. So great to see out of the bullpen. The numbers are, again, I'll use the word phenomenal, for them, and if they can keep that up, man, that's just going to be, oh, again, what you need to go forward. I mean, it's everything came together in these first 4 games, so it's hard not to be excited. It's how they're winning as well. Like you look at opening day, extra innings. The Wheeler game, 4-0. Sunday against the Braves, 8th inning to take the lead. Monday against the Mets, 8th inning to take the lead. So again, it's how they're winning, not just they're getting the W's. They're really piecing it together. They're hitting at the right time. They're getting the runs at the right time. The pitching's been, as we just talked about, solid and automatic. So super, just fantastic. How that has come about. The bats will come around. I know that seems to probably be the struggling point of the team so far, but the bats will come around. Hoskins, I will say on Monday night, he was seeing the ball really well in that last at bat, but until then, he didn't see the ball well. Really, I felt like all season he got some hits, but I didn't feel like he really picked up on everything coming at him. He was swinging at some stuff out of the zone that he just shouldn't be, and it was really there was a lot of rough spots. So I do think he'll have obviously the opportunity to pull himself out of whatever that is, and last year wasn't the best. I mean, he had stretches, but really since the rookie year, there's been a lot of downs more than ups. So they're going to give him the opportunity, obviously, to figure that out. He's going to get plenty of shots this year, and but I do like trying to switch it up and seeing if you can get somebody else in that lineup, especially with Bohm hitting as clutch as he has. Back to the how they're doing it, like the leadership in Harper and Romuto. Harper, if you listen to him talk, this is probably the most leadership kind of Harper that I've heard since he's been with the Phillies. And I've thought since day one he took kind of a more of a leadership role than he ever did in Washington. But this one just feels like he's a little more that guy. And then JT leads by example, and he seems like he's in the clubhouse, one of those guys too. But Bryce more to the media and how he's talking to them is where I'm seeing the leadership. But on the field, he's aggressive too, right? He tried to stretch from second to third. He tried to stretch a single into a double already this year, just from being aggressive. Like just he went from second to third on the bat or on the short throw. Could have been safe, could have not when he was tagging there. And then the single into the double again. Probably not the best idea, but he's being aggressive. Like he's setting the tone. Both those were early in games, set the tone for those games. For 4 games in, and he like setting the tone in that kind of way. So really, really good to see, and really obviously exciting and happy, and can't wait to talk more Phillies baseball, especially if it's going this direction. Hopefully, they don't have a Flyers like collapse. Center field position, I've said it before. I genuinely feel like it's probably just going to be one of those by the end of May. If they don't have one of those guys figuring it out, Quinn, or whoever figuring it out, then they're probably just going to bring Odubel up and call it a day. So I will see. We'll see. Hopefully that's not a terrible in the background or too terrible in the background. That was my only worry about doing this outside. Sam Darnold got traded from the Jets to the Panthers. Love this for the Panthers. I'll be honest with you. If you've ever listened to me before or watched me before, I think Sam Darnold can play. And I tried to I was like, all right, let me put something behind it. So I looked it up. In his time with the Jets, their defense has been bottom, like really, really bad. Run game has been bottom, and that's with Le'Veon Bell, really, really bad. Got sacked a lot. And then you look at his time with the Jets. With him off the field, they were embarrassed. I mean, they were very, very bad offensively, like very bad offensively. And he took them from very bad to just kind of bad. They weren't winning football games. They weren't doing great. And the only real good win you can point to is like the Dallas one, right? But that might be a good example of like, go look at the games before that. If you remember when he had mono, uh, the games that he was out, they didn't look like they could move the ball 5 yards. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they were negative yards in one game well over halfway through. So like it was like he literally took them from being an inept offense to a okay, well we can move a little bit. We might be able to score 3 points without him, 17 with him. We're still losing 35-17, but so that's where I've always been kind of like he has talent. I wouldn't necessarily give up on him. I think the Panthers, what they gave for him, why not? I mean, I like Joe Brady a lot. I think he's a good play caller. I like Rule a lot. I think he's a good coach. I like Darnold. So I think this is going to be a good fit. And I think not giving anything up for him is even better. It also, shows us where the Jets went ahead. And it's probably, I don't know. I don't want to say it's a bad move by the Jets because I don't know if it's a bad move or a good move by the Jets. I just think you could have probably got, I don't know if you could have got more or not. Maybe I'm wrong that you could have got more. But I look at it as like, if you were only going to get that, then why not ride it out? Like, just ride him out. Draft whatever quarterback you wanted to. And I know people would be so mad in the media and, oh, you got to help him if you want to. But no, look, if you can't get anything for him, then keep him and bring the other guy in and see what they do in camp together and let him walk the next year. But to me, I don't know. I just feel like they didn't get anything at all in return for him. And if he's not going to be your starter, you still don't have to start him next year just because he's on the roster. Like I don't understand why people feel like you're like they were married to that. I like Sam Darnold, but he didn't make them a Super Bowl contender. So I don't know. Again, that's why I wouldn't have traded him. I look at it from the side of if you're not getting anything in return, then you might as well keep him. Just keep him. And it's weird, sure, it's a weird dynamic, but he's still gonna have to be professional in the locker room. And I would have been all right with keeping him. And drafting a Wilson or whoever you want to draft. It makes things interesting in the draft, though, right? Because now we know the Jets are drafting a quarterback. We know the Jaguars are drafting a quarterback. The Niners most likely drafting a quarterback. It makes Atlanta really easy, really easy for Atlanta to now trade their pick because if you want the next guy, Jamar Chase, or Parsons, or I'm slipping his name's slipping my mind from Oregon, the offensive lineman. And there's plenty more names that if you want one of those guys bad enough, well, they're not going to one of those four teams, so you might as well trade up to Atlanta. Atlanta made their pick available. Thought that was a smart move on their part. It just makes the draft a little more interesting with that trade. So excited for Darnold, excited for the Panthers. Don't know with the Jets. Never want to call it a good move with the Jets because you never know with them. But I wouldn't say it was a bad move. I don't think I would have done it. College basketball, Baylor winning the national championship. Congratulations to them. I mean, Gonzaga, like the best way it was described is they look like they lost their legs. I think Grant Hill, somebody was talking about it. Grant Hill said before that after the Leitner shot, Duke came out very flat the next game because it was just like, and they were down big at halftime. Makes sense. Like it makes sense. This was the Final Four into the this was the Final Four into the national championship, so it's closer days. It just makes sense that it was absolutely uh, a situation where they might have lost their legs and been tired. And Gonzaga just got down too big. Baylor's too good of a team. They're too big. They're too athletic. You're not going down really big on them and finding a way back, no matter how good you are. And I thought Gonzaga was very good. I think they might have been the best team this year. They really might have been, but Baylor was able to just run right through them because again, they had the size and speed too that Gonzaga was able to take away from everybody all year. Baylor had the same size and speed that Gonzaga did. So, and I like Scott Drew a lot, the Baylor head coach. He's got a lot of energy. I don't know. I like it too. The MLB movie All Star Game. Last topic. From Atlanta. I hope they still honor Hank Aaron. I think they moved it personally because they didn't want to hear the conversation every day for the next 3 months. Well, this was passed. Well, but they just didn't want to have that conversation, that non-baseball conversation. I felt like every day. I know today it feels like they're having a louder non-baseball conversation than they were before, and they are right now having a louder non-baseball conversation than they were before. But that louder non-baseball conversation will end within a week. And by the time we're at the end of April, no one's going to be talking about the MLB moving the All Star game. By the time we get to the All Star game, not a whole lot of people are going to really be. If you're a baseball fan like me, it doesn't. I don't care where they play it. I'm going to watch it. Now, I'd like to see them still honor Hank Aaron. I still would like to see them maybe go to Atlanta someday and maybe be able to do that properly. But that's between them and however they see fit. The MLB does a lot of things I don't agree with. This is not one that I really am gonna. I don't care one way or the other. It does not matter to me either way. Like I get very, very upset with them about a lot of things they do and a lot of the way they treat things and the way their commissioner handles things. Does this one just doesn't? It's not. What I mean, whatever. If it bothers you, then I understand. But for me, it's just not something that matters in the grand scheme of things. And I think you know we'll see. Maybe 50 years from now, they might be on the right side of history, and I don't think they did it for that reason though. So it doesn't. It to me that genuinely doesn't matter. But we'll see. Everyone's got to be upset about something, right? So I'm excited for the home run derby in the Coors Field. Though it's supposed to be in Colorado. I'm very very excited for the home run derby there. So again, thank you for watching. One last time, we're presented by Be Kind Boutique, where you'll find the kindest handcrafted soaps and body care. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter for details about our Mother's Day 2021 gift box set featuring an exclusive champagne and pearl body bar. Give mom the gift of kindness this year. Links to join our Facebook group and shop our online catalog will be in the description below. Thank you for watching. If there's anything you want me to talk about, any more topics or anything, please let me know as well. And I will definitely be back to talk more. Obviously, Phillies football draft. There's definitely more bunch of stuff coming up. Baseball. So thank you.